All right, so first things and foremost, again, your exam is on is next Tuesday. So I just posted a practice exam online. Again, I'll put some hints over here for the actual exam, like some shortcuts for the regex in case you forget to bring in a cheat sheet. But big thing is remember to bring in a cheat sheet this time, especially with regular expressions. There's some short answers questions, like some basic short answer questions, some regex questions that I'll have. So write basically a, basic regex definition question, then write a regular expression that matches this, right? Rather than, so you just have to write the regular, when I say just write a regular expression, you don't have to like do the whole Pythonic thing. You just have to give me a regular expression that matches. Then for like a problem like this, where I say write a method that the great grammar there, that parses a given string and replaces all phone numbers with the string private, return that string. So that is one that you can use that basically I want you to write a Python script for. And then there's also another method over here that has a again we have a regular expression. Sorry, this is a question that I typically ask as a practice question for the other exam, but it makes more sense here because you can answer it with regular expressions. Let's see, file reading. So there's two basic file reading questions. So we've got the reading in a CSV file and doing some calculations with that. And then here's a sheet, which is a Excel worksheet. So I've already given you the sheet. So, you don't have to memorize the whole writing things down, but you should write it on your, how do I load a worksheet? Well, write that down on your cheat sheet, So suppose sheet is a variable representing an Excel worksheet with three columns. Columns A holds the number of people, holds names of people. Column B holds the dates of birth stored as string. And the third column, I guess I just didn't bother with. The dates are stored in month, day, day format. Write a script that creates a list that contains all the people born on the first or last day of the year. So in other words, all the people born on January 1st or on December 31st. So basically just look through the spreadsheet, tell me who was born on either the first day or the last day of the year, who has a birthday at the beginning of the year or last day of the year. Right, and this is just a random sheet, so you're just going through the cells at that point. Then I have a bunch of methods. So most of this exam is writing methods. That's where the vast majority of the points are that manipulate either strings or lists. So here it says if the string begins with un, return it without un at the front. So I'll give you a date. I'll give you guys until Thursday to go through it and try it yourself. And on Thursday I'll go over the answers. Okay, we'll go over the answers. And if you come ready to put the answer on the board, right? If you come ready to put the answer and explain your answer to the other students, I'll give you guys a bonus point on the exam. Okay, so if you come ready with this, so if you do these problems and you've got them solved, you can come in and solve the methods on the board. I'll give you a bonus point on the exam.
So Thursday we're just going to go through the whole exam?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there will be time for doing other stuff too, but that's the primary objective, so that you'll be ready. So min-max difference, give me the minimum, give me the list of integers, return the difference between the max and minimum element, swap the ends of the list, which is, I give that one because it's non-trivial in Java and it's trivial in Python if you know how to do it. Then some problems I grabbed from Coding Bat. And then there's one over here, this last one, which is given a string, write a function. Again, I need to return, which returns the most common letter in the string. Great, I have to completely write a function which returns the most common letter in the string. Use a dictionary to do this. So there will be a dictionary problem as well, and hopefully today I'll be able to show you how to use a dictionary to do a pretty common problem. All right. So with regards to what we're doing today won't be on the exam. Now, typically you'll be using automated scripts to do stuff that is done in with Excel spreadsheets. Typically, you don't have to work with Word files, because if you've got like data in a Word file, it's typically in a table, which you could then extract into Excel and then do what you need to do over there, right? So, but there are modules to work with that. PDFs are also a common thing that you'll need to work with. PDFs are a bit of a pain in the butt, and being able to work with PDFs in Python doesn't make it any less of a pain to do these, to work with these. So a lot of these examples for our PDFs, they're in these, and they're in the, we're gonna be working on either the example dot. Let's see, is there an example? I think it's meetingminutes.pdf that we work with, which is the meeting minutes for the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education for Louisiana. Okay. Now, now this is chapter 13. And you'll see that basically that there is just not that you'll get as many issues with this as you would normally work with PDFs. So PDFs are basically it's a format that's nice because pretty much almost every computer and operating system is able to read PDFs. PDFs are a pain in the butt to modify. And a lot of what you want to do sometimes is just read the text that's embedded in a PDF. So we use PyPDF2 to work with this. So to install it, you have to use pip again to do pip install PyPDF2. Okay, and the Y is lowercase in that because it's Python. Okay. As they mentioned there's really issues that with not every PDF is able to it can really work with this, not necessarily. There's some mistakes, as we're going to see with what we're doing over here, that just are unavoidable when you're working with PDFs. So the first thing that's most useful is getting text from a PDF. So I'm going to go ahead and move this, open up PyCharm, and I'm going to copy our PDF file, these PDF files into our library. So grab these, the combined minutes, boom, boom, boom. And I'm going to just put these into my, into here so I can work with them. Yep, copy these files over here, and now I'll create a new file called, a new Python file called, let's say, pane in the PDF. And that's a Python file. Okay, so the first thing we need to be able to do is import Py to PDF. Right, and again, I'm using my system interpreter for this, so that's why I'm able to use this in PyCharm like that. So I can import it, and if you can import it with no errors, great. Okay, so now what do we need to do? Well, we use the open command to open our PDFs. So let's see what we want to say. We've got, PDF file is equal to PyPDF2 dot, and then dot open, I believe. Actually, the first thing we have to do is get the file with the actual open command. Open, and then we'll open up the file we want to use, which is meeting minutes. Yeah, where's that called? Yeah, meeting minutes. Meeting minutes. And you could do this working in your other in your folder itself. Comma RB. Now, notice that I have this RB flag here for reading the file. And that's because we're not just reading a file, we're reading a binary file. That B is for binary, meaning that if I were to do something, that means if I do this, 4-line in PDF file, like I'm opening it like a normal file. Notice I haven't really used Py to PDF yet. Print line, I get a bunch of gibberish, right? Because most PDFs they're binary files, so most of what's in it is gibberish. So instead, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to need to use the Py2Pdf to read that. So the way I do that is I use the PDF file reader, which is basically a class of stuff to use to produce a PDF reader object. So basically, if I pass this into the PDF file reader, so I pass the PDF file into the PDF file reader, and that will give me my own personal PDF reader. Okay. And now I can actually start doing stuff like PDF reader dot get sheet. Let's see, sheets. Yeah, get pages. Sorry, sheets are Excel, so everything's in pages now, right? So num pages. So let's go ahead and print out how many pages this has. It has 19 pages, right? Which as you can see up here, it might be tiny for you. It has 19 pages. So if I want to get page 1, let's go ahead and so PDF reader dot get page and then page number. Let's get page 1. Let's see what we get if we print out a page. Print page. It's got this contents kind of stuff, right? A lot of just weird stuff in there. So how do I get the text from it? Well, we do that by getting the page and then calling extract text. So now if I do extract text. So I've got this stuff. So notice that this is meeting is called the order at this point, right? That's because this is page 1 technically, right? Because we're starting from 0 inconveniently here, right? So the Louisiana State Board of Elementary and Secondary Education met in regular session on March 7th, 2014. Let's see that over here. Okay. The Louisiana State Board of Elementary and Secondary Education met in regular session on March 7th, 2014 in the Louisiana Purchase Room located in Clinton, right? So it's all the text there. It's just a bit jagged because that's the way PDF, and if we try to grab this, right, Notepad, just the way that handling PDFs are, because PDFs don't necessarily play nice. If we want to get the very first page, though, like the very first, we want to go page 0. And notice that it says official board minutes meeting of March 7th, right? And that over here is this, right? Official board minutes. And that is tracked out like with like a ton of repeats and stuff. This is because, again, as I mentioned, PDFs they're great at if you want to read them, and then they're basically terrible for if you want to do anything but read with them. Right? If I drop this down, what I copied down, right? So I copied this, right? I copied this official board minutes. If I paste this into Notepad, look what I get. I get multiple F's, just like I had in my text. Right? And this is just simply because of the way it's encoded in the PDF. Right? You've probably seen this when you've tried to copy paste and stuff into PDF. It's not a bug with the PDF. It is a feature of the PDF that it works that way. PDFs are a pain. So a lot of times working with text is going to be difficult. So we only got the first page from there. But that's okay because you can just simply do a for range. It's zero-based indexing. So the first page is page 0, the second page is page 1, so on and so forth. So the other big thing that is that with PDFs though is that these things are often encrypted, right? So that I can't just so that some guy just can't read it, right? So let's look at this one. This is an encrypted PDF, right? If I try to open it with a PDF reader, it tells me, hey, I need a password. And if I hit A, B, C, D, E, F, right, it's going to tell me that it's just going to pop up with another dialog. This is the one. But bang on the keyboard a lot, maybe I'll get it. Oh, hey, I got it. It's because I know what the password is for this one. So encrypted.pdf's password is Rosebud, in all lowercase. So I can open it up and it's just the same file. It's just been encrypted, right? So that I can't open it up unless I know the password. Okay. So I'm going to go switch to this file, right? So I'm going to comment out all this stuff over here. Rather, this stuff over here. Actually, no, I'll just make a new file. Okay. A new 5 encrypted PDF reading. Okay, so this one again, I'm going to import Pi to PDF, right? So let's go ahead and open up the encrypted file. So open encrypted.py, and again, I want to read binary. And I'm just going to throw this part won't really matter. For line in open this file in this encrypted file. If I print out this line, so you don't need to copy this down because it's just going to get deleted. Oh, right, that's py PDF. Okay, it's even more gibberish, right? Even more gibberish than normal. So I'm opening it and I'm reading it line by line, but there's not really anything I can do with it. So let's go ahead and say, so here I'm going to do, again, PDF file is equal to open this file, okay? And then I'm going to use PDF, I'm going to get a PDF reader for this file by throwing in pi to PDF dot PDF file reader, which allows me to read the PDF file. And gives me a way to mess with it. And if I do page is equal to PDF reader dot get page 0, like I did last time, it'll tell me, it gives me an error. The file has not been decrypted. This is not it being just, polite to the person who made the original file. It literally cannot read it because it's encrypted. So we're going to have to, right, if I print out PDF reader dot is encrypted, it's going to tell me it is encrypted. So how do I get so now how do I decrypt it? Well, PDF reader, we want to decrypt it, so we need to just provide a password for it. So first off, let's see what happens when I provide the wrong password. Nothing happens. Right? If I No, I mean, I can try printing something. That's a good suggestion. Will give me 0 to tell me that it's not, it will return a 0 saying that it wasn't successful. If I put in now Rosebud, which is the password, it'll return 1, and it'll say that the file still is encrypted because guess what? It is a encrypted PDF, right? So now what I'll need to do is, I've decrypted it. Now that I've decrypted it, though, I can now use page is equal to PDF reader dot get page 0, and now that should work just fine. Print page dot extract text. Right? So now that it's decrypted, I can get it. If I do ABC, Instead, it gives me a error that I can't read it. So you have to decrypt it first. So that's going to be the basis of the PDF homework that I do, which is that given a file that you know is in all lowercase, the password's in all lowercase, write a program that will basically decrypt the PDF. Essentially, you've got a loop all through all the combinations, and that's what it is. So the difference is though that like something that you know is 8 characters long, right? That maybe will take a number of minutes if it's just a couple of 26 character combinations, like sorry, if it's a bunch of lowercase letters. However, if you're using the more strict password settings and longer passwords, those could be measured in not years but millennia to decrypt. Okay, so that's what the power of using long passwords, is that these things take, because you have to try every single combination of those.
You're gonna need like a bunch of computers.
You could use a bunch of computers together, like each doing a small subsection of work, right? But again, you're using all this. The entire point of passwords and trying to do it like that is to make the password long enough. And this is also works for like encrypting stuff in general. You make the key to decrypt it long enough that multiple computers running, basically doing nothing but this, will still take like more than a lifetime to get it to take care of it. Like it's still measured in millennia.
So how do people do that now?
How do people do that now? A lot of times it's like weak security settings. Like a lot of people, they do just have them. Like if you've got a bunch of usernames and you're not gonna, and somehow you don't trigger stuff by trying to test usernames, you can try every single username and just try the 3 most common passwords, which are 2 of which are password and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. So you can just try those if you know there's weak security settings. Right. So people do use those, and people think they're being smart by doing that, and they're actually being very dumb by doing that. So the other thing is that the security can be, leaked. Like some websites, they store passwords in plain text, meaning that if you get onto the website, if you get into their servers, then you can just read everybody's password. The other thing that is common is that you just call, if you're trying to hack, get somebody's password, you go, "Hi, I am Mr. Hackerman. I'm trying to do a password check. It's just to verify the security. Can I get your password, please?" And that's how you get people's passwords, by just asking them for their password.
You get Hackerman from Kung Fury?
Not Kung Fury, but yes, that is So anyway, that's the weakness of that. So PDFs reading is kind of as you can see, a bit of a use case, but now making PDFs, that's pretty useful. So we use PDF file writer instead of PDF file reader. You can't just write arbitrary text into a PDF. Instead, all you can really do with the PDF file writer, it doesn't make PDFs like just with arbitrary text. If you want to do that, use LaTeX or use like a Word to do that, and then save it as a PDF or something like that. Instead, what it will do is that it will you can really just don't. It says over here, all you can do is copy pages from other PDFs. You can rotate pages. You can put one page on top of another, which is pretty nice. And then you can also encrypt the file, right? You can encrypt your PDFs. So generally what they're going to do is that so what this book does is that we are going to open one or more existing source PDFs, and then we're going to open them using PDF file readers. We'll make a PDF file writer, copy the pages from the reader to the writer, and then write those files to the output. Now this is something I've done as I was going through. Now that we've seen this, I can go and show you. When I was teaching myself a bit of Japanese before I came here, I was using a show created by Georgia Public Broadcasting called Irashai. Now, Irashai has a bunch of it has, let's see. So like here they had just a bunch of video episodes, like, and you could just go onto there and you could watch it via Flash. And with every single episode came a video check sheet, so like something to do while that was working, right? And if I wanted to download all these files, it was kind of annoying, because I wanted to print them out to work on them. I wanted to print them out in a batch, right? So, and this is still very basic on where they're still using Romanji, So, because this is geared towards high school students, so they start with Romanji and then slowly ease you away, rather than a college level course where they'll just throw you into hiragana at the very beginning. Yes. There's no. Sorry. There's no N in Roman.
It's not Romanji. It's
Romanji. Good to know, because I don't use it. I've been told to get off of that as soon as possible. Don't even and to skip that and just go to Kana directly, and that's what I did. So, anyway, so these files, right? I noticed though that these files all are located in the same place, right? If I wanted lesson 2, I just go to 02. I just go to actually not 02, but to 2, 1L.2. So if I wanted lesson 40, I would just type in 40 over here, and that's all that would switch. So what I did is that I wrote something that we'll go over in a later lesson when we're going over how to scrape stuff from the web, which downloaded all the PDF files. I wrote this little thing that says, hey, here's the base URL, and this is how I'll grab everything, right? So from Pi to PDF, I used the PDF file merger, which is, so notice that basically that this syntax over here, I haven't shown it to you before, which is from Pi to PDF, import PDF file merger. Now when you do import Pi to PDF, that imports the entire module, right? But maybe you don't need to import everything, you just need to one part of it. So you can say from Pi to PDF, I just want the PDF file merger. The small class in there that merges things together, right? And so this is pretty much how easy the merger was to use. So the first thing I did, so by the way, that means I don't have to use Pi to PDF before I use it. I just have to say PDF merger. So what I did is that I created an empty list, and then I added all of the files, right? I had them saved as like 1.pdf, 2.pdf, 3 for lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3. So I just simply created a list with all the file names in them. Then I created a PDF file merger. And then for the PDF file, for the PDF file name in the PDFs, I just simply opened that PDF file, right, with the read binary format, and added it to the merger. And then this is, again, I looked at this all through by using the power of Google Foo, right? So, and Stack Overflow, with open. So this here, I'm writing it. This is just basically saying I want to write this to this file, and I want to use this as the variable that I'm writing with. Merge these all together and write them out. So it's fairly straightforward to use. So the important thing to know is that just simply appending them to the PDF file writer or the merger isn't enough. You actually have to use the write method to actually save it. Just like how if you're making changes to the Excel file, you have to use the .save to actually change it, right? So, all right, so how do we copy pages? Which is fairly straightforward. Well, we can open up our first. So here we have the meeting minutes file. There's also a meeting minutes 2 file, which is a second meeting minutes. So say I wanted to put those together using the PDF file reader. Okay, so how can I do that? Well, what you can do is you can open them both up, right, using the PDF file, using the method we've been doing, put them both into a PDF file reader, okay? And then you create a PDF writer object. So what you do is that you put them all, is that for each page, so let's go ahead and actually write this. New. Copying PDFs. .py. Okay. Import .py.pdf. File 1 is equal to open meeting minutes 1, comma, read binary. Then we're just going to copy this. So it's actually meeting minutes dot PDF. Yeah, it's meeting minutes dot PDF, and then we're going to copy that and we're going to paste that and do meeting minutes 2, file 2, and we're going to create reader 1 is equal to .pdf2 page file reader file 1. And guess what happens next? I copy this, I paste it, and say file 2. And now I'm going to create a writer to create this. So writer is equal to PDF file writer. And you need the curly brace, you need the parentheses to actually create it. So now what I can do is that I'm going to basically add the pages that I want to write to this. So so let's see. Yep, I need to use the yep, so for page num in range let's see, file 1 dot let's see, I think it was get, what was it into here, num pages, that was it, dot num pages, right? This will tell me how many pages are it. Oh, it's not file 1, it's reader 1. That's why I'm not getting dot num pages. Page is equal to reader 1 dot get page, page number, right? So it's zeroed indexed, so you can do it like this, right? So this will get me pages 0 through 16, which is all the pages there in the first file. And then the second one, and then, so I got all the pages, and now I add them to the writer. Writer.append. Let's see, what does it say here? Add page. Writer.add page. So we add that page to the writer. And then we do this again, but for page 2, for the reader 2. Okay, so now we've got all the pages. Now what do we need to do? We need to open a file where I want to write everything to. So PDF, so output is equal to open, and here again we need to figure out where I'm just going to call this out.pdf. That's where I'm going to write to, and I'm writing a file. I'm writing a binary file specifically, so I put WB there. So now writer, let's see what we can do. Writer dot, let's see, write. Hey, it wants me to write to a stream. I bet if I put it here, that's going to be great. Write to output. Then we'll go ahead and say close the writer to be polite. And then technically we should close the readers too. Wait, do I need to close the readers or no? I need to close the files. So output.close to say that I'm done with it. File 1.close, file 2.close. Okay, so now if I run this, No.
Does the writer have to be further up? The output?
No. What I need to do though is wonder what I misspelled. Meeting minutes dot. Oh, mintuts. Mintuts. Okay. Now there we go. We write it, and now I've got an out.pdf. And now it's 40 pages long, and it's both files put together, right? Because what we did is that we got every page from those.
Question.
Yep.
Would you be able to do this with for my work, for example, sometimes I open PDFs that use Interlink or like a service like that where you have to log in.
To a service to read the PDF?
Yeah. So like you have a local copy of it, but then when you when you try to open it, you have to log in using credentials, and then it watermarks the PDF copy that you have. Like, would you still be able to use this kind of thing?
I'm not sure. I'm not really familiar with that, but I can show you how to add a watermark.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how to do that. I'd have to see what you're talking about, which you probably shouldn't, because that's probably proprietary stuff then, if it's watermarked. But the idea here is that with if you're logged, so do the credentials then give you the password to open the PDF or something?
Well, yeah, it prompts me that I have to enter credentials and then I can access it.
I'm not really sure. Another thing you can do, by the way, over here, before I completely forget, if we want to do something, is that you can add in a blank page, apparently. And then if we run this again, and we look at meeting minutes, and we look at our output, hopefully this will produce a blank page in between everything. Right. Out.pdf. So now we have 41 pages in here. See, blank page now between the two files. All right. And now, what else can we do with these? We can add watermarks. You can rotate the pages, by the way, by getting the page and then rotating it clockwise. So let's go ahead and see what happens when we do this. So I'm just going to add in another line over here. So every page that we get, I'm going to go page.rotate clockwise, and I'll rotate it 90 degrees clockwise. Let's go ahead and run this. It finished. Let's look at our open file. And this is just from the first one. So now notice that basically that all the pages are rotated 90 degrees clockwise. If you have a physical, so to answer your question, if you have a physical PDF file and you can open it like this, then yes. But it also depends on how heavily integrated stuff is. I don't know how. I've never had to use that technology before, so I can't really answer too many questions. But if you can open a PDF on your computer, then that's what you can do. You can essentially do any of this stuff so long as you can open that PDF. Now so that's rotating, which is really useful if it's if you get the file and it's rotated, right, and you need to unrotate it. So that's kind of the use for that more than anything else. You can also combine a lot of pages from once. The last thing that I thought was really cool is you can overlay pages. So you can, this one's really cool, where basically you can do some watermarking. So I think it'll be our one of the last files we do for this, because so watermark pdf py. Good. So import py to pdf, right? And now what we're going to do is that we are going to open up two files. So file 1 is equal to open. We're going to again open up the meeting minutes, assuming I can spell it right this time, which I can't. Meeting minutes.rb, and then we're going to file 2 is going to be open watermark.pdf, I believe. Yeah, watermark.pdf, which is this thing, which says top secret, do not accidentally email to WikiLeaks, right? So, so we can apply a nice, scary-looking warning to that. Yeah. Okay, so so let's go ahead with the PDF reader is equal to pi pdf2 dot PDF file reader, and we'll open up file 1. And then the same thing over here, except I'm going to call this watermark reader is equal to pi pdf2 dot PDF file reader file 2. So we've read both of the stuff. So let's go ahead and get the first page of the reader. And we'll want to create the writer as well. So writer is equal to pi pdf2 PDF writer. Watermark page. So let's first get the let's get a regular page from PDF reader dot get page 0, and then the watermark page is watermark reader dot get page 0. Okay, now writer. Let's see if I can figure this out just from using the writer. Nope. So now what we're going to do is that we are going to, let's see, get to page. So yeah, so it says overlay it. So, and I didn't try this out. So here in the page file, what we can do is that we can do regular page dot merge page with the watermark page. And that will merge them together. And now what we can do is that now that they're together, we can just simply say writer. Let's go ahead and create our output. Output is equal to out open. So now we need to open the directory for our output. So I'll just use out.pdf again and override our other output, WB, writer.write writer.write to the output. Of course, we need to add this to the output. So writer.add page, regular page. And now if we run this, oh, where did that mess up? Watermark reader in file 2. Oh, right, I forgot to add the argument over here for read binary. And now if we check our out.pdf again, it overlaid one on top of the other. It merged those two pages. So just put the contents of one on top of the other. So now it's a one-page PDF. And we could just simply add that. We could just simply iterate through the rest of the file. And we can add that onto every page, or we could just do that to the front page. So working with PDFs, you're kind of limited, but it's pretty straightforward to handle. a useful thing is kind of being able to go through all the PDFs and basically combine them together from a single directory. That's a very common operation that you find that you wish you wanted to do. And one way to do that is the way you can do that if you don't know so when I wrote my program, I knew the name of all my PDFs, right? And typically that's useful, but maybe you don't know the name of all your PDFs. So if that's the case, then what we want to do to combine them is you got to find them all and then iterate through them. So for the last 15 minutes, I'll write a program like they have, but slightly different. So combine PDFs.py. So we need to import two things. The first thing I need to import is, again, because I'm working with PDFs, Untitled Pdf. And I also need to import OS because I'm going to be working with the current directory I'm currently in. So one thing I'm going to create a file list. So file list. So these are a list of all the files that I want. It's going to be empty, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the files I want into the list. And then I'm going to open all these files up, merge them into a PDF writer. And so I add each page to them to a PDF writer, and then I can write the output. So how do I figure out all the files that I'm in? For file name in os.lister. So let's go ahead and see if you can guess what this is. So for file name in os.list directory, lister for list directory path. What does the dot mean again? What's the dot, the shortcut code? And the current directory. It's the current directory. So that's where I currently am. So list all the files where I currently am. So it's asking for if file name. So so it goes through each of the files here. If the file name is, if it's a PDF file, we're going to assume that all the PDF files end with .pdf, right? And we didn't do something funky with the instruct. Then file name, then the file list, we're going to add that. Append to the file list. Okay. Then to merge them all into that, we are going to, for file name in the file list, what we're going to do is that we are going, and the only reason I'm putting it into a list first is so that I don't have a crazy nested loop. Well, let's go ahead and open that file. So, file object is equal to, so I'll call it data is equal to open that file name. We're going to open it with, and first let's go ahead and delete our out PDF because I don't want to, because otherwise it might get a bit confusing. Okay, so open, and I need to open that file in read binary mode. Okay, PDF. So we're gonna, for each file, we're gonna create a PDF reader equal to Py2PDF PDF reader for the data. Okay, and then for page num. So for page number in PDF reader dot get page. Oh, sorry, num pages. Page is equal to PDF reader dot get page. Page num. So this will get all the pages in there. So now that we're getting all the pages, we actually have to, use a writer to collect them all. So writer is equal to Py2PDF.PDF writer. That's all I have to do to create a writer, and then to use it, I just say writer.add page. So that will get, for each file, it will get every page from the file and add it there. Okay. Now that I've collected all the pages, I gotta have an output is equal to open dot say open, let's call it out.pdf again, write buffer, and this will override anything called out.pdf. The only thing is that to make sure that you don't run, if you run this twice, you might be reading out.pdf, which means you can't. Oh, right. So I'll probably want to also, in that case, data.close over here to make sure to tell the program that I'm done with it, so I don't get trying to read write an object I'm reading to. So output, and then writer.write to output. So where was my error? 12. Expected strings path for file name in file list. Oh, so file list, append file list. I forgot to put file name over here. So now if I run that, int object is not iterable. So where's that? Line 14. Oh, for range, right? Got to do a range over here. File has not been decrypted, right? Because I had a decrypted PDF in here. So I had encrypted PDFs. So let's go ahead. So yeah. So we'll skip encrypted PDFs because that's a pain. So if PDF reader dot is encrypted, well, we'll want to skip it. So instead what we'll do is set if not is encrypted, do this. So I just indent that, and now we got an out. And that's a bunch of blank PDFs. What did I do wrong? A bunch of blank page. No. Writer.add page. So right, I used over here. I used so for copying PDFs, I did I got the page, and then I added the page using add page. Or did I forget to do, do I have to do output.close? So let's go ahead and delete my output over here. Do refactor. Now run it again. And let's see what I've got over here. Interesting. Why am I getting 81 blank pages? But if I run, let's see. So for file name, let's go ahead and do print file list. Combined, encrypted out. So it read itself for this one, which makes sense. So, which created 162, right? Because it read itself. So delete. Yes, delete it and run. So we've got combined minutes, encrypted minutes, encrypted PDF minutes too. We've got so we've got this one. So if it is encrypted, so if not is encrypted, for everything in the range, should have done. Yeah, it should have done this just fine. Everybody else getting a similar error? See, did I miss? PDF files. Right. And then we combine those for all pages. So for all the pages, right? Yeah, so my code should be very, very similar to what I've done. I just don't know why that it's not working. So file name and file list. Data is equal to open this, read binary, opening the file, PDF reader, read that file. If it's not encrypted, for page number in that range, get the page, add it to the writer. Let's see. And there's nothing else I really needed to do. And then I use output.close once I'm done. Go ahead and just try this. So, was it because meeting minutes is not blank, right? So any suggestions as to why this is? Because I legitimately do not know why this is not working. So we got our file list. We've got all the files in the file list. Right. So.
What was the exact dimensional you gave for encrypted
file? Let's see. I gave it if not PDF reader is encrypted. So if it's not if it's encrypted, so right, if it's encrypted equal I can do if encrypted is equal false. Do that instead. It's gonna get more bloated as we go on. It's amazing how much output can. Yeah, let's do a refactor, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into // out.7. Out.pdf. This should run there, and now I'll look in Andrew Classroom, and now we should have an out.pdf here. It says it's 21 kilobytes of nothing. All right, let me just make sure I'm not crazy, and we'll run this one. It says out.pdf, and it's got all those files just fine, right? And what it did is that it ran through the meeting minutes. Let's see. So open each file. Yeah, we open each file, creates a PDF reader. What I could do is that I could make this just a mega block of code and see if that will help at all, but I doubt it. So let's put our writer all the way up to the top. Actually, no. So file name, PDF reader, not encrypted, 4 number in range. So the other thing I could do is if encrypted, continue. Just go with get page 0 and see what happens there. But I doubt that's going to change things. Oh. Did I mess up on the PDF writer? Okay. Minutes. All right, well, class time is over. Sorry for this. I thought this would work.